to today's podcast. In today's session, we have with us an expert from a field related to batteries. Ramesh Natarajan, a veteran with over 42 years of hands-on battery industry experience, will be asking our esteemed guest a host of technical questions. Enjoy the session.
Hello everybody. I'm very happy and excited to do this episode of the podcast on the use of lithium-ion batteries vis-a-vis lead-acid batteries in the material handling equipment segment. I'm happy to have a very dear friend of mine, Mr. Sunil Gopalan, as my guest. I'm excited because lithium-ion batteries are something very new to me, and I look forward to have an enlightening session ahead. By the end of this session, we'll surely have clarity as to whether lithium-ion batteries are being preferred by the end users of forklifts, and if so, why. It's important to have a fair idea of what is the likely future of lead-acid batteries in the MHE segment. I'm keen on learning from Sunil as to what are the problems faced by the MHE industry when they use lithium-ion batteries. I'm sure he'll give me an honest reply to this important question of mine. Of course, there are likely to be more queries as the session progresses, and hopefully this session gives me an insight and also to the traction battery manufacturers and prepares them to face the challenges ahead. I mean, especially for the lead-acid battery traction battery manufacturers. Before I start with this session, let me introduce Mr. Sunil Gopalan. He is the founder director of MEL Services Private Limited, a company based in Pune, India. This company has three verticals: manufacturing, trading, and provision of specialized services to the MHE industry. MEL's manufacturing activity includes assembly of lithium-ion batteries as well as making Curtis control panels. In fact, last week MEL completed the sale of 100 numbers lithium-ion batteries. MEL ranks as the largest Curtis dealer in India today. MEL is into the activity of trading in a big way and sells batteries, chargers, as well as forklift spares. Their specialty is, of course, service, an activity with which they started MEL. MEL offers forklifts on rent to various industries and offers on-site maintenance service for forklifts. I keep seeing their various posts on Facebook and social media platforms and admire the vision of the group, and I like the innovative ideas of Mr. Sunil Gopalan. Sunil, do you want to add something before I start with my learning exercise today?
Hi,
welcome to this podcast anyway, Sunil.
Thank you, Mr. Natarajan, and hi all. I must thank Mr. Natarajan for giving me this opportunity to interact with him on the subject lithium-ion battery, which is actually a very happening thing on energy source as on date. I'm sure we will together be able to make it an effective session and will add some value to the listeners on lithium-ion batteries. Thank you, Mr. Natarajan. You may go on.
Sunil, firstly, I wanted to know what are the problems of lead-acid batteries which drive the customer to a lithium-ion battery? Because this is a very basic question, but I think this is something which especially the lead-acid battery manufacturers want to understand, and I'm sure that many people are looking forward to this answer from you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very good question, and also very basic questions. And when it comes to answering this question, and even though lithium-ion battery has several advantages, but I would say the main pain area which today's lead-acid battery users are having, one is the maintenance, the frequent maintenance which they come across when they use lead-acid batteries, which are comparatively high, and also the frequent electrolyte level filling up by using distilled waters, and also keeping the batteries clean. And sometimes in some cases we have even observed while charging or in the use also, the kind of fumes which comes out of the lead acid batteries also causing some health hazards in some industries. Like these are the few reasons which people immediately would like to go for like lithium-ion battery in place of lead acid. And in addition to that, there are many other advantages. It comes fast charging and opportunity charging and also zero leakage voltage. These are the few things which have come in our observations. People prefer to go for lithium instead of lead.
So you mean to say that if lead acid batteries if the topping up problem is sorted out, and mainly when the topping up is made auto-filling system, that problem should go away?
See,
or have you used auto-filling and still face these problems of topping up and the corrosion of the terminals and all that?
See, basically the requirement of self-topping up itself is an activity calls for periodically. So that itself, it can be eliminated. So people would be more comfortable and happy. Here they have to include it in their maintenance schedule. That
that is true.
Yeah, periodically check the water level in the cells and then fill it up. As you know, if the water level goes below the permissible limits, and that even end up into spoiling the battery itself.
Yeah, that is true. But then if this problem is taken care of, there is a possibility that lead acid batteries can have a scope. Is that what you mean? Like if I probably have a good auto-filling system and we say that top it up once a week or something like that, there is still a scope for lead acid battery?
That definitely add value, no doubt about it.
Okay.
But then the other features the lithium-ion is coming up with.
Yeah, that is about the opportunity charging and all that.
Opportunity charging.
Okay. So we'll come to it probably. I will have something to, take care of that problem by the end of this session maybe. So now I had one more question. Like you are yourself renting out forklifts to various industries. Have you used lithium-ion batteries in the forklifts rented out by you? And what has been your experience with these batteries? I want a honest feedback.
Yes, definitely. Frankly speaking, we have used lithium-ion batteries on few of our stackers which are rented out. Stackers which we have rented out. Forklifts we are yet to. And these fortunately these stackers have gone into the same place where our lead acid battery stackers are also in use. That gave us an opportunity for a direct comparison. Our observation, rather the feedback which had come from them are like the immediate feedback was the backup. The backup of lithium-ion battery charges are more as compared to lead acid battery charges. That was an immediate feedback which we got, and they were comparatively happy about. The charging frequencies have come down. Okay. Then in addition to that, like I said, the other thing which they started observing, like they don't have to pay attention to the lithium-ion battery, whereas in case of lead acid battery, they have to give attention. So these are the few feedback which had come back to us. So many other features they are yet to explore. That is not a need at present.
How long back were these batteries?
See, the oldest installation we have on our rental stacker may about 8 months, 8 to 10 months.
But in 8 months, you have not had to change any cell or do any repair or.
On that front, I'll tell you very honestly that see now the oldest battery which we assembled and supplied must have clocked more than 1.5 years. 1.5 years. So we have not come across a situation where a battery has failed and it had come back to us for a cell replacement. Some of the difficulties we had in the initial days we faced were like the over discharge of lithium-ion batteries, and then later it was not possible for the customers to revive at the site. So we had to call back those batteries, and then we had to get it revived on our end. This we later realized that was basically happening. The SOC meter, the state of charge meter which we were supplying, were not having the right logic to actually measure the AH involved. AH remained on. So that was basically a voltage based device. So that realization we got sometimes back, and then now we are using an advanced SOC
meter.
with a shunt based counting, like so,
Okay.
which is giving more precise and understanding, and also it comes with alarms and cutoff systems. So which as a result we do not come across such over discharge battery cases as of date.
Okay.
So
But
this is what we found.
when it over discharges, does it get heated up?
See, over discharges, it is not going into a heating up issues. Basically, when it goes to over discharge, most of the time the BMS gets cuts off.
Okay, okay.
BMS
So the
cuts,
vehicle stops.
the vehicle stops and it doesn't move. It doesn't
Huh,
move.
huh, huh.
So there, if they again leave it like that
Huh.
without addressing,
Huh.
and it again further get deteriorate, like the
Further
charge,
discharges.
further discharges to some more extent. Then if after that if they try to charge it, sometimes the BMS itself does not get reset and charge the batteries.
Okay, okay, okay.
So in such scenarios, our special intervention is required, whereby we call the batteries back. Those incidences are also have come down as of date.
They have come down.
They have come down.
Okay, okay. So, I mean, if just to add to this question, will you prefer using more of lithium-ion batteries in your rented forklift, or you still feel that you will have a mix of lead acid in certain cases like pallet trucks and forklifts? You will prefer the lead acid, and you will use it only for the stackers where you need the high current and where you are using it for more.
This question has a different trick, I would say.
No, this question has come out of that question. You did
Correct.
not
So
use it for the
why-
forklift.
It's a very,
Why
very,
so?
very precise question.
Hmm.
When you are taking the name forklift, because that is an area where we have challenge today. I said we have forklifts as well as stackers.
Yes.
But still, we have not preferred to use a lithium-ion battery in a forklift yet.
Yes. Why so?
We prefer to use a lithium-ion battery in a stacker. Yes. Basically, retrofitting a forklift with a lithium-ion battery, the cost involved is comparatively very high, as compared to retrofitting or fitting a lithium-ion battery on a stacker. For a few reasons, like even you and me both know that, because forklift is purely a counterbalanced machines. So in the design itself, lead-acid battery is considered as a part of its countering weight. So if you want to replace a lead-acid battery by a lithium-ion battery, as you know, lithium-ion battery is quite lighter as compared to
The energy
lead-acid.
density is,
The
yeah.
energy density is much more, and so it is not a one-to-one replacement. So then if you look at the cost addition, one is the cost of the lithium-ion battery plus the additional counterweight to be added
Yes.
to that. So that the total cost becomes
Very, very high.
very, very high. And also the charger for lithium-ion battery at present is bit costlier device as compared to lead-acid battery. So when you look at it at a totality, the total cost of converting a forklift with a lead-acid battery into lithium is going to be a bit on the higher side. So because rental business which we do, so end of the day the money doesn't come back. So we are not finding it practical as on date for the return on investment part. Like so.
Okay.
So
But
that's
these
holding
stackers
aspect.
are the ones which are for the the more height wherever you require in the stores and go downs and all that. Mostly.
Yeah, stacker
In warehouses.
It's warehousing equipment.
Warehousing equipment.
mostly being used for stacking
Stacking.
purpose.
And there it's not much as a counterweight like in a forklift.
it doesn't play much of role, and wherever the lift height is more, we proportionally add some amount of weight,
Little
little amount of weight to the battery, just to keep the CG slightly
Yes,
down, slightly down. That's safety precautions which we take. That doesn't come with a huge cost, as in case of forklift truck.
Yeah, and anyway, when you are going to such heights, the weight to be lifted also is specified that beyond this height, the weight has to be lower and in the stacker, right?
Correct. That is what we call duration.
Duration is there. So that is why you don't have to
lift
put
height.
much of
Yeah,
counterweight.
correct.
Now, have you fitted a lithium-ion battery in a lead-acid battery forklift? Is it possible? I understand that here it is difficult in a forklift, but suppose it's only a pallet truck or a platform truck or something, and somebody says, I still want a lithium-ion battery instead of a lead-acid. Have you done that?
Yeah. Till date, and even you mentioned in the introduction part, like we've even already clocked our numbers.
Yeah, 100
numbers,
numbers. Yes.
Batteries. See, the application areas, if you look at it, like we have already supplied a battery to about 3 to 4 different product range. Stacker is something which I've already told you. In addition to that, we have even supplied lithium-ion battery for platform trucks.
Yes.
Platform trucks, and then transfer car applications.
Yes.
And even golf cars. So these are the 3-4 range of products which we've already supplied lithium-ion battery.
Yeah, you've supplied, but have you supplied it for a new golf cart or old golf cart? If you've supplied for an old golf cart or an old pallet truck or something, is there a problem like when you're just removing a lead acid and putting this, or you have to do a lot of changes in the vehicle? Is it easily possible, is what I mean. Is it easily possible, or there's a lot of cost involved in a retrofit?
Recently we have done a project. It is done for a facility management company, those who are taking care of
housekeeping,
railway station,
housekeeping
as well as the golf cars. They are managing the golf cars being used for passenger movement. They have about 8 golf cars in one railway stations, and they have been continuously using lead acid battery. And railway station, it is a 24 hours
operations.
And as and when the lead acid battery comes to a discharge level, they have to put it on charging, and it takes normally about 4 to 6 hours. That is what the present duration it is taking. So they are one of our customers for even other Curtis and other products. So they happen to talk about their difficulties managing this show more effectively. So we finally recommended them for lithium-ion battery to come out of this. One is that charging duration, to reduce the charging duration, and also to ensure a longer backup. Backup. These two things adds value to them. So our engineer had visited, they studied the overall applications, and also finally we supplied one lithium-ion battery to this company, and it has been fitted on the golf cars, and that is in trial. So far the feedback.
But you have to make changes to the vehicle.
Correct. That part I'll be coming. So that means we have already done it. So now your question specifically, what it involves.
Yeah. What it involves is more important.
Yeah. I got it. When it comes to retrofitting an equipment, with a lithium-ion battery, where the machine is already using a lead acid battery, I would say one of the simplest thing as compared to fitting it on a new machine, new machines.
Yeah.
Because as you and me know that, because a lithium-ion battery comes with too many features. It is up to you and me how or what you want to.
What features you want to
use it.
Okay.
Right? But if you are a customer and you are already having a lead acid battery, and lead acid battery doesn't give any of such features, so then you are already used to 0 features out of the battery. There the replacement becomes very easy. So there the basic care has to be taken. One is that the battery dimension need to be matched. For any reason, if at all the weight is important for that particular matter, because tow tractors, the weight is important. Wheel loading matters. Weight is important for that particular application. We ensure that weight is added to that. One, and secondly, the state of charge meter. A lead acid state of charge meter cannot be directly used for a lithium-ion state of charge meter. So we have to replace the state of charge meter. That is another change. Third, of course, obviously that the charger has to be replaced with a suitable lithium-ion battery. So that way, if you look at it, it's a combination of battery, charger, and SOC meter.
Okay, so it is not very difficult. What it means is only the dimension. One, second is SOC meter, the weight if it is required to be added, and fourth is the charger. So there are only 4 things.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not very difficult to replace lead acid battery with a lithium-ion battery in a vehicle which is already
running.
Yeah, except for a battery forklift where it becomes a costlier affair.
Because of the cost element is a bit discouraging.
Yes. Otherwise, it's possible even on a forklift.
We can do it.
If somebody wants to do it.
We can do that.
Okay. Now, is the ordering of a lithium-ion battery as simple as ordering a lead acid battery?
As I said, because lithium-ion battery comes with many features, and also a lithium-ion battery cannot be without a BMS.
Yes.
So while selecting a lithium-ion battery for any application, one of the key decision which normally as a assembler is to decide what is the BMS should go with the battery for that particular application. So we have a questionnaire whenever if somebody is interested in replacing their existing lead acid battery by lithium. We have a questionnaire, we ask quite a few questions. So one of the most important information which we wanted always from the user is that the load details, the motor, power details, so the kW of the motor, and its application also being considered, like what kind of application, a towing application, or is it a lifting application, or it is a combination of both. So these aspects are considered. So based on that, we decide what should be the ampere rating for the BMS. So this is the key decision which we take on while designing a battery pack, I must say. Other than that, if someone wants a smart BMS or WhatsApp communication, CAN communication, those all depends on the
user.
See,
those are features. What happened was I had met somebody who has a lead acid battery fitted to a vehicle, and I asked him, are you thinking of going for a lithium ion? He said, yes, I had thought of going for a lithium ion, but when I asked somebody, he said, give me motor details, give me current details, give me so many details. It's all a big pain. Earlier 48 volt 443, I just say 48 volt 443. So it's not so simple. Then finally I got so bored because I am only a user. I don't want to get into those details. So I decided to put a lead acid battery. That's why I asked you, is it as simple as ordering? Why I asked you this question is, in the sense that if it is not so simple to order, that is also a hindrance for the entry of lithium ion, isn't it? So I think there has to be some way by which so many questions are not asked, and 48 volt 443, the seller also has to understand what is it, and he should be able to say, okay, this is for so and so vehicle, whether it's a Volta so and so or a Godrej so and so, I will give this, instead of asking him so many. Then it becomes easy for a buyer as well as for the seller. Like if you are asked, you know what is a 48 volt 443 used for, you know what is a 72 volt 500 used for. If you are, because you know, and you also know the motor rating, you know whether it is easier for you to sell rather than for any new dealer to come and sell, isn't it? It's easier for you to sell in this market.
Right. You said it very rightly. This is what has actually happened with us also in the beginning days, because beginning days we as we initially said, because lithium ion is a new thing in India which is coming up, and every day there are new things which we are facing and we are learning rather.
Yeah.
So the questionnaire which we also got it in the initial days for selecting a right lithium ion battery for any application where lead acid is bound, we use it. Was a very lengthy questionnaire.
Yeah.
We realized because it is going to discourage the customers.
Yes.
So by using our expertise, we've shortened those questionnaires and we kept it short, but all the information which we require, we ensure that by getting those answers are there, and also our experience always being put into it.
Yes.
In selecting. So we are giving as less as pain to the customers when they look for a lithium ion battery, to give their requirement to us, like so. That is the way we are managing it. Otherwise, definitely it calls for more information than asking for a lead acid battery.
So that means even you, with all your experience, you are still asking some questions to your user.
Yeah.
I think without asking, you should be able to give a battery. Then only it's easier to sell. Like 48 volt 443, you know what is it for. 48 volt 516, you know what is it for. So maybe it will take time, but over a period of time, you'll be able to just say, okay, this is the battery and it will be suitable. But if you ask a lot of questions, it is discouraging.
Yes. What we do that, for example, if it is for a stackers or for a standard forklift trucks or for a golf cars, today we don't have to. Today we need to know only the voltage and edge, what capacity or what backup they are looking for. But also we do a lot of EV projects, like their transfer cards are involved, even many customized machines are involved. In such cases, we don't have any references in the past.
Yeah, I know, for AGVs or something.
AGVs and all. So in such cases only, today I must say that we are asking more and more questions. Otherwise, forklift, stackers, tow tractors, even for that matter, golf cars, these are all has become a standard products where we need to know basically voltage and edge. So that way we can offer without asking too many questions to the customers.
Okay. Now, when you are assembling lithium-ion batteries, you are not manufacturing it. So, are you able to know the exact type of lithium-ion battery that you are being supplied? Whether it is a FePO4 or NMC, whether it is a cylindrical, prismatic, or what exactly are you getting it?
Basically, the applications which we are targeting for the battery packs which we are assembling are of metal handling equipments. One is metal handling equipments, second is golf car segments, third is floor cleaning machine segments, and
scrubbers.
Also scrubbers, and also this transfer cars. Like so, these are the 3-4 segments we are actually targeting our
the
lithium-ion battery packs like. So the chemistry which we prefer to assemble our batteries, LFP, lithium ferrous phosphate chemistry we are preferring, and that too we are using prismatic cells.
Prismatic.
So we are mostly with LFP and prismatic cells. That is the combination we are having.
Okay. Are you aware of the risks involved with lithium-ion batteries and the safety-related parameters of lithium-ion batteries? And do you educate the user about the possibility of fire and how to tackle emergency situations? And do you know that a lithium-ion fire cannot be put out using water or a normal fire extinguisher? Water can only actually cool and ensure that there is a, you can somewhat suppress the heat and the thermal runaway problems. And then one more thing I would like to ask you is, are you aware that the gases emitted from the battery in case of a fire, they are very hazardous? They are hazardous to the extent of, they can actually even affect the cornea of the persons. And the eyes can be affected. That is what they say. And that's what I understand from whatever I have understood from a lithium-ion fire, battery fire.
Yeah, I must say that this is a question in which many of the answers also was lying in it.
Yeah,
so that
but
is
basically the answers are there, but I want to know whether you are aware of the risks involved and whether you are educating your customer about these.
Okay. When we speak more specific to the kind of activities which we are doing today on lithium battery front, first of all, yes, the risk involved in both lead acid as well as lithium-ion batteries. So, as I mentioned sometimes back, the chemistry which we use is LFP, lithium ferrous phosphate. So, as on date, LFP is one of the safest chemistry in lithium as compared to NMC and other things. So, that way we would say that we are comparatively with a more safe chemistry we are handling. And other thing here, basically, all the cells, all these prismatic cells are all coming with safety valves. So that is again adding up to the safety of the cells. The moment the pressure varies, and if any shorts of pressure varies, it diffuses the cells, adding up that. And then the precautions, the safety cares which we normally advise our customers, because most of our applications are going into off-road EVs, where we particularly look at it, let it be MHE, let it be golf cars, let it be transfer cars. So there are an amount of handling involved. Sometimes they will replace the battery by another battery, or maybe the battery is also placed almost very close to the operator, where it can be easily come in contact with the operators and all. So such cases we normally always advise them that do not make any do not allow to happen any mechanical damages So while handling, you have to handle it with care, do not drop it or do not hit it with any metal
I mean,
object.
it should not get punctured or
Do
the
not
electrolyte
hit
should
it,
not come out.
hit it. Correct.
Okay.
So this is the kind. And when we are giving these batteries for these kind of applications, the cabinet which we make it always a steel cabinet.
Okay.
So that itself provides a good amount of protections that things cannot that easily reach to the cells inside the battery. That we do. In addition to that, like we caution them by saying that do not expose, do not make the batteries come in contact with water. Don't pour water on it.
Don't pour water.
Don't pour water on it.
Yeah.
And do not keep it in a too dusty areas like so. So these are the few things, water, dust, these things to keep it away, and also
Heat.
You absolutely said it. So avoid to bring it in an area where the ambient is already high, and so avoid this. So these are the few precautions we normally advise our customers to be taken care for the safe usage of the lithium-ion battery. The other thing you rightly asked about in case of a situation, an incident takes place. So that is an area I must say even industries are still exploring. So yet to find a final satisfactory answer to those in case of an incident. So how safely tackle it like. The few knowledge which we have, which we are advising even our customers are that. But in case of a fire, so basically we all know that the most enemy here is basically the heat generated due to short circuiting of both the plates. Like so, in case if there is a short circuit is happening, and that can cause to a fire around. So we say that you can use some fire extinguisher immediately to suppress the flame which is coming out of that fire. But again, let me tell you, it doesn't mean that the chemical reaction or the heat generation is stopped by just using it. Continues. So you should not be happy or comfortable by saying the fire is over and I've taken care of the dangerous situations. It's not the case. It suppresses for some times. Again, due to chemical, the heat is further increasing and it can cause another fire.
Yes.
So the second thing we would recommend or suggest, like if in some way once the fire is suppressed, in some way, if we can pick this battery or maybe cell and put it into water, and if you can submerge into water, that will further control the aggregation of damages. Maybe
it will at least cool
down. And again, I'm telling you, even if you put it submerge into water, also the chemical reaction will still continue.
Yes.
But unless otherwise it would have been outside, and that the excess heat could have caught even more fire and damaging the surrounding things also. That can be controlled. Yes. This is what few steps which we can do as on date. Hope and looking forward for more better technological approach whereby this can be more safely controlled.
But do you educate the user about this possibility when you sell, or as of now?
Because when you ask this question, even I was also getting into thinking and what are
that
the things
it has to be done in the future.
You have actually instigated us to think more on that area, right? Because this awareness which we have and understanding which we have, and probably we think that we would also give a guidelines in a printed format, to our customers. Definitely we will implement it immediately. That is going to give us a clear idea, because it is not that every day something is happening, but we don't know.
As and when it happens, it's
like
good.
so.
Good.
I must personally thank you for giving that insight to us. We will definitely work on that area.
Achha. One more thing, fire is one. I just wanted to ask you one more thing. Does your customer know that lithium-ion batteries are not recyclable in the manner in which lead-acid batteries are? And the customer may not get a scrap rebate when he disposes of the lithium-ion batteries, because now people are very much, even when they call up and ask for a lead-acid battery, they'll say, okay, what's the cost? And what about my scrap? How much are you going to pay me? And he will always want the new battery at the lowest price, and he'll want the maximum price for his scrap battery. He will go on negotiating on both and see that he gets a good rebate. Now, this is not going to be the case with the lithium-ion battery, is what I feel. So, is he aware of this? And possibly, I am also thinking that there is a possibility that disposal of hazardous lithium-ion scrap may even entail a payment at some point of time. It can, because if you cannot sell a lithium-ion scrap and you got to scrap it, like the medical waste or the IT waste, like all these CDs and the desktops and all, people say, okay, you got to pay for disposing it off. The keyboards and the mouse and all, they say, no, you pay for disposing it off. There's no scrap.
Electronics waste.
Electronics waste. So like the e-waste or the medical waste, there is a possibility that the lithium ion scrap waste may also entail a payment. Unless there is a very good recycling facility, or is your customer aware of that, or are you yourself thinking in that line?
Correct. See, when we said lithium ion itself is a new experience to most of us, and even particularly all the customers. So there are a lot of new learnings keep coming in its way. When you ask about the recycling part, one recycling approach which at present in place is a cell level recycling. I'm not sure is it an authentic thing or not, but there is an approach which people are already having, that is one called cell level recycling. Cell level recycling, that for example, electric vehicle is one of the the highest quality applications. One of the highest quality cells are being used. So when you are using batteries on electric vehicles, so maybe the life the manufacturer says that 6 years or 8 years. So once that life is almost completed, the battery doesn't get to zero of its capacity. The capacity level comes down. So maybe it comes down. So we say about 60% or maybe 50%. So in such scenarios, these cells can be used making another battery packs for other applications like ESS, energy storage systems. There it may not be that required, like the kind of a quality level and the backup requirement which it is required in an electric vehicle. That is one way of, if you are having a application where high grade cells are required, so maybe over a period of time the life is over for that particular application, you can use it for other application like ESS and all. This is the way you can recycle cells. So we call it cell level recycling. Then it comes okay, then what will happen, because at the second stage also, if it is over, then the cell is still there. So what we do? So my knowledge, because I'm not, I don't have very clear authentic information about it, but my knowledge, I understand there is one more way of recycling. That is, they call it chemistry level, chemistry level recycling. Chemistry level recycling, the approach is such that the cells are dismantled and all the key elements are separated out, like maybe lithium, cobalt, copper and aluminium, whatever is used. Those things can be separated out and then can be used it again for probably manufacturing lithium-ion battery or other related uses of these elements. Like that is what another recycling approach today it is in the coming, I must say that, because these practices are being used in a few countries and abroad. So that is what our understanding today about recycling of lithium-ion cells or batteries, I must say.
So now, how does the cost of a lithium-ion battery compare with a lead-acid battery?
As we mentioned earlier in the session that we have made more than 100 batteries so far, and yes, the cost is definitely more than a lead-acid battery. But I would like to mention one thing here, one incident, one experience which we had in the recent past. One of our customers, they are using about 7 to 8 battery vehicles on an assembly line. which is on the shop floor, and they were using lead acid batteries on all these machines, and so one day they approached us like by saying they wanted to replace some of those batteries, and that time we recommended them for go for lithium-ion battery instead of lead acid. But they asked us why we should go for lithium-ion battery. So we naturally explained by saying that because it's zero maintenance, and you get fast charging, XYZ, all that. But then those were all the thing they were actually attracted or interested in. But then later we realized they were having a particular pain area in that operation when they were using lead acid batteries in that particular assembly floor. As the batteries were continuously being used in that floor and even being charged also in the same premises on the machine, so it was producing fumes, chemical fumes, and which was actually deteriorating the quality of the air in that area, and also was causing health hazards to the operators working there. So the moment we realized that, and then we highlighted this by saying this health issue, or maybe this air pollution which is causing difficulty to operators, can be definitely addressed and can be 100% eliminated by using a lithium-ion battery. That was something which they realized the value there, and they immediately gone ahead with deciding go for lithium-ion battery, and we supplied one battery as the first trial. They used it for about 10-15 days, and about 15 days after the first feedback which we received, they were rather quite happy about the backup it was giving, because their charging frequencies have come down, and also they confirmed that yes, now that a particular smell which they used to, their operators used to feel in that area, has also totally eliminated. So what I wanted to say that when you ask does it cost more, but I would say when you compare the value it gives, so I would say, like, it gives more value than cost. Otherwise, yes, I fully tell you that it is definitely a costly battery as compared to lead acid.
Yeah, in such a situation where they are charging the battery in a place where they are using, definitely the lithium-ion battery has an advantage. One. Another thing is, in the earlier answer, when I asked you about about the recyclability and all that, you mentioned in between about batteries which are used and then they can be used from EV to a energy storage application and all that. So that phenomena is something known as a capacity fade. Capacity fade. That is the term they use for lithium-ion batteries.
Right.
Now, have you experienced anywhere a capacity fade within the first year of usage, or about 2 years of usage? When have you started? When did you start to sell this? You have reached a limit of about 100 batteries. I mean, a benchmark. I mean, so to say, क्या बोलते हैं, 100 batteries का आपका हो गया अभी benchmark. When did you start selling the first battery? If you remember, about a year back, 2 years back.
Yeah. See, lithium, it's all altogether a new experience to all of us, you and me, and we are keep learning. And when I answer precisely to this question which you put in front of me, that if I remember the oldest installation we have so far, from our assembly unit, is about 1.5 years plus.
So 1.5 years back, the battery which you sold, or even maybe about a year back or something, have you experienced any capacity fade in any of these batteries which you have sold?
We have not so far come across any capacity fade, and rather, if I recollect, and some of our customers, those who had bought batteries about 7 or 8 months back, have repeated
the
orders. Like, so okay. That it clearly indicates, like, they are not finding any problems or anything noticeable which is discouraging or which is not meeting to the promises which we made. That is what I can understand. Otherwise, today maybe you and me may not be in a position to talk about, like, what will happen maybe 5 years down the line, or 6 years down the line. That is something we may have to experience it, or may have to refer other countries where they are using it for a longer durations.
Okay, now the cost of the lithium-ion battery. You talked of value. You still have not indicated what exactly is the cost of a lithium-ion battery compared to a lead-acid battery.
As I already mentioned in one of the previous answers,
about 2.5 times.
It is roughly about 2.5 times, and then it depends on, because at present India do not have any lithium cell manufacturing facilities.
Yes.
So we all have to import cells. So many factors it decides the cost,
the dollar prices,
pricing, and the freight element. So it is keep varying.
Yeah.
But in spite, approximately the experience we have till today tells that it is about approximately 2.5 times the cost of same capacity lead acid.
So now if we come back to the first question and the first answer again, like you said, the problem of the lead acid battery is mainly the watering and the maintenance.
I would
and
say.
Now suppose a good autofill system is used in all lead acid batteries which are being sold, and usually I think the cost of a autofill system must be about 10% of the cost of a battery. And if that is used, and once an autofill system is used, the problems of equalizing and the problems of acid spray mist and the variation in cell specific gravities, all these get addressed. So to some extent, if a autofill system is used, many of the problems of lead acid batteries can be taken care of. Probably.
Yeah, see, when I replied, an answer to that by saying that maintenance is one of the reasons, like, people would immediately. So it is actually, I'm just telling the ground level concern. Concerns. I'm not getting into the rest of the part. Like here, the comparison comes when you say autofill system can reduce the maintaining effort, but a lithium-ion battery eliminates the maintenance required. So it becomes zero maintenance. So against zero maintenance, if you are going to suggest an approach which reduces the effort, I would say zero maintenance is still find more value. Find more value.
Yeah.
So that is what I would like to say. Now, as the awareness go day by day, more and more, naturally people will start think beyond this maintenance aspects also. One example, if I say practical problem in MHE, normally we come across many of the industries, because as you and me know, because backup for the battery is normally designed for 8 hours, one shift operations, and in many industries, particularly towards month end or maybe quarter end, you will find the factory loading would be more and the material movement would be more. So if an operation where they are used to have a single shift operation, there once the battery is charged for a forklift or a stacker, so normally from morning for about 8 hours it normally supports. So when these particular days of maybe month end or other high production time, most of the people come across a common problem is like the battery gets discharged and then the movement is stopped or hampering the movement line. Here actually lithium comes in a
because you can do an opportunity charging.
We can do an opportunity charging. So some people really find value in that. So they can put it on charging during lunch, maybe tea time. So and it has the facility for fast charging also. So opportunity charging and the fast charger combination, it gives you a different edge. So I mean to say that as I earlier mentioned, like in one application they found that the health issues is addressing because eliminating, or maybe there is zero emission, and somebody else is finding like the opportunity charging and the fast charging combination is helping them to have extended hours, working hours. So it is basically where people find value to their application is actually deciding it like more.
Anyway, so it has been very educative for me, and can we agree to conclude that both lead acid and lithium ion seem to be having their own applications, and probably both will go ahead, with of course lithium ion having an edge with respect to opportunity charging, fast charging and zero maintenance, and lead acid batteries has certain advantages like cost and safety, definitely more safer compared to lithium ion, and probably, you know, when it comes to safety, like you said, in certain applications you will find lithium ion to be safer because there is no emission of fumes and all that during charging, and probably both will coexist at least for the next 5 or 6 years till we come to know the performance of lithium ion batteries, or maybe some other sodium ion or some other battery comes in.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, when you look at that, it's very clear. Lithium ion battery is not going to soon replace lead acid battery. Lead acid battery has its own position,
Yes.
and its own place, which is not that easy that, you know, lithium ion can replace it in a very short span of time. So one of the few things which go against lithium ion battery, one of the major thing is the cost itself.
Yeah, the
Cost
cost.
itself. Okay. Then people take decision for lithium ion battery where they find the real value. Probably that could be perfect for their application or their usage. It doesn't mean that that is applicable to all the lead acid battery applications. Like,
Yes.
there could be many, because end of the day it cost matters.
Yeah, cost
You know,
is
you are investing more, and if that is not actually adding a equivalent value to you, why should a user will invest more into a lithium ion battery?
Yes.
Lithium battery. So you will find many application that additional value may not be going a long way or justifying. All such applications are naturally going to continue with
Lead acid
battery.
batteries.
And again, you mentioned, you know, few other new technologies which are on the way.
Yeah.
The only way the spread can, only way this, you know, maybe lithium technology or any other technology which you talk, the spread can takes place if the cost comes down.
And that can come down, I think, only if the product or the raw material is available locally. So that's why probably the sodium ion or hydrogen air or aluminum air or something like that has to come in. And till then, I think lead acid will continue to sell.
Definitely, because we can, as on date, we can't imagine a situation where, like, you know, lead acid will be totally replaced
Yeah,
by
it's very
lithium for
difficult.
many reasons which you already mentioned.
Yes,
It is
yes.
all going to take time, but of course it is a real happening area today,
Yes.
because there's the trend of EV which is catching up. So
Yes, yes, yes.
you and me understand, like, you know, there are many centers doing a lot of research on that.
Yeah, yeah.
So sooner or later we will find new technologies that are coming up with
Yeah.
even replacing many of the you know maybe disadvantages or
Yeah.
maybe that either it is on cost or maybe it is on some safety aspects.
Unless
will-
lead
will
acid
all-
itself improves a lot
Yeah.
in their performance and address the issues of maintenance as well as charging.
Right.
As well as charging.
So it is a continuous innovations and invention. So we need to wait and watch. Like, so,
Yeah.
what next? Where the technology is taking all of us to the next.
Yes, thank you very much, Sunil, and I really had a very enjoyable session, and I could learn a lot from you today.
And it was really a pleasure and having such a wonderful session with you, and it had given even a lot of inputs to us also, and knowledge from you too. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
We hope the Q&A session was useful and insightful. You may contact us by writing to rameshnkailad@gmail.com, rameshNkailad@gmail.com. Please do visit www.rameshnatrajan.in. Keep yourself updated about our new releases by hitting the subscribe button.